You know that moment when you get a raise, like a real one, not the insulting 2% cost of living adjustment that does not even keep up with inflation, but an actual meaningful bump in your paycheck. Maybe it is a promotion, maybe you switched jobs, maybe you finally negotiated properly, and for about 48 hours you feel like you have made it. You did the thing, you climbed the ladder, you are winning at capitalism. And then somehow, inexplicably, about 3 months later, you are broke again. Not cannot pay rent broke, you are still covering your bills, but that weird kind of broke where you look at your bank account and think, where the hell did it all go? You are making significantly more money than you were 6 months ago, and yet you have exactly the same amount left over at the end of the month, which is to say nothing. Here is what is happening, and this is going to sound like a conspiracy theory until I show you the math. Your salary is not designed to build wealth. It is designed to keep you exactly comfortable enough that you do not quit, while simultaneously preventing you from ever accumulating enough money to actually leave. For every additional dollar you earn, the average person only keeps about 30 cents in terms of actual wealth-building capacity. The other 70 cents disappears. My name is Nick, and today we are going to talk about something your employer, your bank, and the entire consumer economy desperately hopes you never figure out, which is that earning more money by itself is one of the least effective ways to actually build wealth. And the people making $150,000 per year who are still living paycheck to paycheck are not stupid or irresponsible. They are just caught in a trap that has been carefully engineered to scale perfectly with income. The math that nobody shows you. Before we go any further, I need to show you something that will fundamentally change how you think about salary increases, because the way most people calculate the value of a raise is hilariously, tragically wrong. Here is what people think happens when they get a $20,000 raise. They think, great, I am making $20,000 more per year. That is $1,667 more per month. I can finally afford to insert literally anything. Wrong, so wrong it hurts. What actually happens to that $20,000 raise? First, taxes. If you're making anywhere between $60,000 and $180,000 per year, your marginal tax rate is somewhere between 35% and 45% when you account for federal taxes, state taxes, Social Security, and Medicare. Let us be conservative and say 37%. That $20,000 raise, after taxes, you're taking home about $12,600. Already we are down from $1,667 per month to $1,050 per month in actual cash, but we are just getting started. Research shows that people spend, on average, 150% of their additional take-home amount when they get a raise. They see $20,000 and spend $20,000, even though they only received $12,600. This phenomenon has a name, lifestyle inflation, but that term makes it sound optional. It is not. It is an automatic psychological response that happens unless you actively intervene. So let us be generous and say you are more disciplined than average. You only inflate your lifestyle by the actual take-home amount, $1,050 per month. Here is what typically happens. Apartment upgrade, plus $300 per month for a nicer place. Better car, plus $400 per month payment. More delivery and dining, plus $200 per month. Subscription and lifestyle upgrades, plus $150 per month. Added up, that is $1,050 per month. Your entire raise gone, and you genuinely feel like you are not being extravagant. You are just finally living at the level that someone at your income should be living at. This is the salary trap. Every dollar you earn unlocks a corresponding dollar of appropriate spending for someone at your income level. The income brackets that nobody escapes. There are very specific income brackets where people get financially stuck, and they are almost impossible to break out of without completely restructuring your relationship with money. Bracket 1, $40,000 to $60,000 per year. At this level, people are genuinely living paycheck to paycheck in the literal sense. There is not enough income to cover necessities and build savings. This is survival mode, and it is brutal, but people in this bracket generally know they are broke. The problem is obvious. Bracket 2, $60,000 to $100,000 per year. This is where the salary trap really shows its teeth. You can cover basic needs and have some money left over. You feel middle class, but you are not building wealth because every income increase within this range gets matched by lifestyle expense increases. The trap here is that you feel like you are finally making it, but your savings account tells a different story. Bracket 3, $100,000 to $250,000 per year. This is the most insidious bracket. At this income level, you should absolutely be building wealth. You are in the top 10% of earners. And yet, a shocking percentage of people in this bracket still report living paycheck to paycheck. Because at this level, lifestyle inflation does not just creep, it explodes. You live in a nice neighborhood, $3,000 or more per month in rent or mortgage. You drive a nice car, $600 or more per month payment. You send kids to good schools, paying private tuition. You take appropriate vacations. You eat at nice restaurants. You wear nice clothes. You have a nice life. And none of it is building wealth. It is all consumption at a higher price point. Data point: approximately 36% of people earning over $100,000 per year report living paycheck to paycheck, meaning they have less than 3 months of expenses saved. 1 in 3 six-figure earners is one job loss away from financial chaos, despite making more in a single year than many families see in 3 years. That is not personal failure. That is a system working exactly as designed. Who benefits from the salary trap? Understanding who benefits from keeping you trapped helps you see the system more clearly. Your employer. Your employer needs you comfortable enough that you do not quit, but not wealthy enough that you can afford to leave. If you accumulate enough savings to survive 2 years without income, you become a negotiating problem. You can demand higher pay, refuse unreasonable requests, set boundaries. You become expensive and difficult. But if you are spending 98% of your paycheck every month, you are trapped. You need that next paycheck to survive, which means you will accept whatever conditions come with it. The financial services industry. Banks, credit card companies, and loan providers make money when you spend, not when you save. They have engineered products that scale with income. Make $50,000 per year. Here is a $5,000 credit limit. Make $150,000 per year. Here is a $30,000 limit with rewards that psychologically incentivize spending more. The entire lending industry is built on the assumption that as your income increases, your debt capacity should increase proportionally. Not because that is financially wise, but because that is how they make money. The consumer goods industry. Luxury and premium brands exist specifically to capture spending from higher earners. A $50,000 earner buys a $25 shirt. A $150,000 earner buys a $200 shirt. Is the $200 shirt 8 times better? Obviously not, but it is the appropriate choice for someone at that income level. This scales to everything: cars, homes, furniture, appliances, vacations, restaurants, hobbies. Every consumer category has a premium tier designed to capture spending from higher earners. Everyone in the system benefits from you earning more and keeping less. Everyone except you. The psychological hooks that keep you spending. Let us get into the actual psychological mechanisms that make the salary trap work. Hook 1: reference point shifting. Your brain evaluates spending not against an absolute standard, but against your reference point. What is normal for someone like you? When your income increases, your reference point shifts. You start comparing yourself to people who make what you make now, not what you made before. This is why keeping up with the Joneses is so destructive. The Joneses are broke too. They are just broke at a higher price point. Hook 2: psychological licensing. When you work hard and earn more, your brain gives you permission to spend more as a reward. This is not conscious, it is automatic. You feel like you have earned the right to enjoy your success, and spending becomes the mechanism for that enjoyment. The problem: this licensing does not scale with actual value. You got a 20% raise, so your brain wants a 20% lifestyle upgrade, but premium goods do not scale linearly. The difference between a $1,500 per month apartment and a $1,800 per month apartment, which is a 20% increase, might be minimal. But your brain wants the upgrade, so you end up in a $2,200 per month apartment, which is a 47% increase. Hook 3: hedonic adaptation. Your brain returns to a baseline level of happiness regardless of positive or negative changes. When you get a raise, you feel great for about 3 months, then you adapt. The new income becomes normal, and you no longer feel the happiness boost. But the spending you increased, that does not adapt back down. The expensive apartment and nicer car become your new baseline. You have locked in higher spending without locking in higher happiness. Hook 4: social proof and status signaling. Humans are wired to care about relative status within their social group. Modern consumer culture has hijacked this evolutionary mechanism and turned it into an engine of perpetual spending. When you earn more, you associate with people who earn similar amounts. Those people have visible status markers: cars, neighborhoods, clothes, vacations. Your brain concludes that to maintain status within this group, you need similar markers. The brilliant trap: everyone in the group is doing the same thing. Everyone is overspending to signal status to everyone else, who is also overspending. It is a mutual financial destruction pact disguised as normal adult life. The break-free framework. The salary trap is beatable, but not with willpower. You need a system designed to counteract the psychological hooks. Step 1: the split stream protocol. The moment you get a raise, before you have seen the first bigger paycheck, set up an automatic transfer that routes the entire increase directly to a separate investment account. Not savings, investment. Critical: you pretend the raise never happened. Your checking account receives the same amount it always has. Your lifestyle stays exactly the same. This works because it bypasses reference point shifting. Your brain cannot adapt to an income level it never experienced. Your lifestyle stays locked to your old income, while your net worth quietly accelerates. Let us do the math. You make $80,000 per year and get a $20,000 raise. After taxes, that is $12,600 more per year, or $1,050 per month. If you let it touch your checking account, lifestyle inflation consumes it all, but route it straight to investments earning 8% annually. And over 20 years, that single raise becomes approximately $615,000. One raise, one decision, over $500,000. Step 2: the lifestyle lock. Once per year, audit your monthly expenses and set a hard cap at your current spending level. Then commit to not increasing that spending for at least 2 years, regardless of income changes. This is not about never spending more. It is about decoupling spending from income. Your spending should be based on what you need to be happy and healthy, not on what you earn. The lifestyle lock forces you to find satisfaction within your current spending level before considering an increase. And what most people discover is that most lifestyle inflation does not actually improve their life. Step 3: the stealth wealth mindset. This is the big one and the hardest for most people because it requires rejecting deeply ingrained social conditioning. The principle: spend like you make less than you do, significantly less. If you make $120,000 per year, live like you make $75,000 per year. The gap between what you earn and what you spend is where wealth lives. Psychological trick that makes this sustainable: you do not tell anyone what you actually make. You let people assume you make what you spend. If you live modestly and drive an old car, people assume you are making $75,000 per year. That assumption protects you from social pressure to spend more. Stealth wealth: you are invisible. You do not look rich because you do not spend rich. But behind the scenes, you are accumulating wealth at a rate visible wealth could never sustain. 10 years from now, the person with the luxury car will still be making payments. You will be financially independent, but nobody watching from the outside will know the difference until you choose to stop working and they realize you can and they cannot. Step 4: the raise ladder. This is a protocol for future raises, because the salary trap activates every time income increases. The rule: for every raise, split it 80% to 20%. 80% goes straight to investments via the split stream protocol. 20% you are allowed to add to lifestyle spending. This lets you enjoy some benefit from earning more while still building wealth at an accelerating pace. Over time, your lifestyle gradually improves, but your investment rate improves much faster. After 5 raises, you are living noticeably better and investing 4 times what you were before. The numbers nobody wants you to see. Let me show you 2 people with identical income trajectories, but completely different relationships with the salary trap. Person A: lifestyle spender. Starts at $60,000 per year at age 25, gets typical raises and job changes. By age 55, making $160,000 per year. Throughout their career, spends approximately 95% of take-home income every year. Saves the remaining 5% in a 401k retirement account, because that is what you are supposed to do. At age 55, after 30 years of working and earning a cumulative $3.4 million in gross income. Retirement savings, approximately $400,000. Still has a mortgage. still has car payments, cannot afford to retire for at least another 10 to 15 years. Despite making $160,000 per year, they are financially trapped. Person B, trap avoider. Same starting salary, same raises, same income at age 55. The only difference, implemented the split stream protocol with every single raise, lived like they made $80,000 per year their entire career, even when making $160,000 per year. Everything above $80,000 went straight to investments. At age 55, investments approximately $2.1 million. Home paid off. No debt. Can retire immediately with higher annual income from investments than from salary. Same income, same years working, a $1.7 million difference in outcome. That is the cost of the salary trap. One more comparison. Two people both making $100,000 per year over 25 years at 8% annual returns. Person A spends $85,000 per year, invests $15,000 per year, ends with approximately $1.1 million. Person B spends $60,000 per year, invests $40,000 per year, ends with approximately $2.9 million. Both made the exact same money. The $25,000 per year spending difference, $2,000 per month, created a $1.8 million wealth difference. That is not the difference between living well and living miserably. It is the difference between a $2,200 per month apartment and a $1,500 per month apartment, between a new car and a used car, between restaurants 4 times a week and twice a week. Marginal lifestyle differences, massive wealth differences. The decision that changes everything. Here is the thing most people do not want to hear. Escaping the salary trap requires accepting that you are going to look less successful than people who make the same amount you do. Your co-worker who makes $120,000 per year is driving a Tesla, living in a downtown high-rise, wearing designer clothes, taking exotic vacations. You make $120,000 per year, and you are driving a Honda, living in a normal neighborhood, shopping at Target, taking road trips. From the outside, your co-worker looks successful and you look fine, average, unremarkable. Behind the scenes, your co-worker has $8,000 in savings and $47,000 in credit card debt and has not contributed to their 401k retirement account in 3 years. You have $180,000 invested, no debt, and you are on track to be financially independent by age 50. The salary trap offers you the appearance of success in exchange for the reality of financial dependence. Most people take the deal because looking successful feels more important than being successful. Escaping means choosing delayed gratification at a scale most people find psychologically impossible. It means being okay with people thinking you make less than you do. It means rejecting the lifestyle your income should buy you. But here is what makes it worth it. The moment you accumulate enough wealth that you could walk away from your job and survive 5 years without income, everything changes. You are no longer trapped. You negotiate from strength. You take career risks that lead to bigger opportunities. You say no to things you hate and yes to things you want. You become free in a way that people making the same salary, but spending it all will never experience. And that freedom is worth every dollar of lifestyle inflation you chose not to indulge. The choice nobody tells you you have. Here is the secret they do not want you to know. Your salary does not determine your financial outcome. Your savings rate does. You can make $200,000 per year and retire broke if you spend $195,000 per year. You can make $70,000 per year and retire wealthy if you spend $45,000 per year. Income is just a number. The gap between income and spending is where your entire financial future lies. The salary trap is designed to make you think earning more is the solution. It is not. Keeping more is the solution. And keeping more does not mean suffering or deprivation. It means making one simple choice. When your income increases, your lifestyle does not. Let your friends upgrade every time they get a raise. Let your co-workers lease new cars and rent luxury apartments and post vacation photos. Let them perform wealth while you build it. Because in 20 years, they will still be working because they have to, and you will be working because you want to, or not working at all. That is the choice. It is not about what you earn. It is about what you keep. and nobody can force you to spend the difference. The trap only works if you walk into it. So the next time you get a raise, before you start thinking about what you can finally afford, ask yourself one question. What do I want more, to look like I am making more money, or to actually have more money? Your answer will determine whether you escape the salary trap or spend the next 30 years as its most successful prisoner. Start today, root the money, lock the lifestyle, build the wealth. Your future self is counting on the decision you make right now. That is it for this one. If this video changed how you think about your salary, hit subscribe and pass this along to someone who just got a raise. They might need to see this before it is too late. I will see you in the next one.